Obviously, I cannot go into many details. Many of these information details can be read on the internet in much more detail. So let me just fly over this century and stop at the most important points. In 1925, the Rockefeller cartel got competition on this side of the Atlantic Ocean. Bayer, BASF, Höchst, and other chemical pharmaceutical multinationals located in Germany united to form another trust called IG Farben Industries Incorporated Aktiengesellschaft. The company value of IG Farben at that time was already 11 billion Reichsmark. Huge. The number of employees were more than 80,000 at that time. So it was clear that these two colossuses, these two gorillas, Rockefeller, IG Farben, could not coexist without having an arrangement how the planet would be divided, how the world markets would be divided. And so they met on November 29, 1929, and they divided the world into claims. In short, Standard Oil got the world market for petrochemicals, and IG Farben got the world markets for chemicals and pharmaceuticals. But one of them never intended to play by the rules. IG Farben wanted the whole world. This is the headquarters in Frankfurt, Germany. And they invested into a plan to conquer the world. First Europe, then the British colonies, and then the rest of the world. But before doing that, they had to solve a problem. There was a democracy in Germany. And you cannot plan a war, you cannot prepare for war in democracy. It's impossible. So you have to turn people into a political system, into a dictatorship. So what they did, they invested in a politician by the name of Adolf Hitler. They financed the rise of his party. They manipulated the public opinion in the media, and they financed the brown shirts, a movement to destabilize the inner cities of Germany with street terror and other mechanisms. As I said, I cannot and will not go into many details. We have made sure that these facts are documented for generations to come. After 60 years of these documents being hidden away in the libraries of the United States and other countries, we collected more than 40,000 pages from the tribunal, the Nuremberg War Crimes Tribunal, not against Göring and Goebbels and others, but against IG Farben. And it is online for everyone to study. The birth hour of this coalition between IG Farben and the Nazis was this event. February 27, 1933. The Nazis burned their own parliament and blamed their political opponents. The enabling laws, the emergency laws, were already in the drawer and were enacted immediately. One document from these Nuremberg war crime tribunals has an interesting date. It is dated the same day like the Reichstagsfire in Berlin. And it is a transfer of 400,000 Reichsmark from IG Farben to the trust account of the Nazi Party. For what? For implementing their plan, taking power. So IG Farben pays the Nazi bombing terror. And 6 weeks later, the enabling laws are passed that are the precondition for the global conquest of IG Farben. You heard about the Patriot Act in America, the Homeland Security Act. There were predecessors of these events 70 years ago. The key of this law is that there will be no more parliament needed. The decisions are taken by the Chancellor and the government of IG Farben puppets. And after the coup, the state coup, the coup d'etat was successful, they never bothered to hide their coalition. They met in public, had press pictures taken. On the right-hand side, you see the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of IG Farben, Hermann Schmitz, and the man on the left is his puppet. On March 7, 1936, 3 years after they seized power, the speaker of the Nazi coalition, whom you see here, gave a speech in the German parliament. And he said, "The people of Europe are one family." Listen to this. The people of Europe are one family. It is no good idea to think that we can maintain a different legal system in a limited house like Europe. So, what does that tell us? It tells us that the destruction of one country after the next was not a goal by crazy people, but was a means towards a goal to create a European market. Four years later, the Nazi IG Farben coalition had just conquered France, occupied Paris, when this letter, which is also part of the online archive that I referred to earlier, of those 40,000 pages, document number 392, is a letter from the IG Farben Board of Directors to the Nazis, with the title, "Here is our strategy paper for the position of the German patent in a Europe under German leadership." A patent. So the first thing these people were concerned about were patents. They wanted to make sure that in every country that they invade, every country they conquer militarily, a new law is being implemented. And an important element of this law is patents. They wanted a common currency, they wanted to have a common patent law, and they wanted to have one European-wide court of appeal for any disputes about patents. That was their main concern.